nikaambia Wakenya msoe sauti ya rais. Sikujua nitarudi hapa nimwambie msoe sauti ya William Samoei Ruto.
So this old man is in loggerheads with this young woman. Hanifa Adan is a Kenyan human rights activist, and she is very well known for her role in the Kenyan Gen Z protests in June 2024 and in her role in the BBC documentary Blood Parliament. Francis Atwoli is the Secretary General of the Central Organization of Trade Unions, and these two are in loggerheads for an article Hanifa Adan wrote in the dailies. This is what it's all about. Over the recent couple of days, or should I say hours, we've been treated to a roller coaster of banters, and this is between Hanifa Adan and Francis Atwoli. Hanifa Adan, as I mentioned earlier, is a human rights defender, while Francis Atwoli is the ever immortal, or so he calls himself, Secretary General of the Central Organization of Trade Unions. And this is because of an article Hanifa Adan wrote in one of the dailies. This article was all about how the old generation are not allowing the young people to get on the front seat. And this did not entirely, in its writing, talk about the Secretary General or his organization. But somehow, or on some section, the Secretary General Francis Atwoli took offense. And he took it to Twitter and or what we now call X and castigated Hanifa Adan for this article. Atwoli posted a photo of the article and said the following: I have read this article by the super young con woman at Hanifa Safi with considerable amusement. Hanifa should be the last person lecturing anyone on leadership or the occupation of leadership positions, given her track record that is riddled with integrity concerns. It is publicly known that Hanifa pocketed millions of Kenyan shillings contributed by well-meaning Kenyans who were raising funds to support youth who were injured or killed during the June 25th protests. How then can the super young con woman position herself as the credible voice on leadership when she failed so blatantly during the one critical moment she was called upon to lead? Atwoli continued to say that if by any chance Hanifa were to be granted the opportunity to serve as the COTU Kenya Secretary General, there is no doubt she will scam Kenyan workers without a second thought. For her information, COTU Kenya represents young, old, employed, and unemployed Kenyans, and the issue of youth leadership cannot be reduced to simply holding the position of Secretary General. As it stands today, the COTU Kenya Secretariat is highly youthful with over 80% of our workforce under the age of 40. And as the Secretary General, I have ensured that the young people have opportunities for meaningful service within COTU Kenya, including creating space for youth representatives on our executive board. Instead of misusing her newspaper column, Hanifa should first focus on accounting for the public funds that were entrusted to her. In a quick retaliation post, Hanifa tweeted and said, I have never been excited to fight someone the way I am with at Atwoli DZA, Wala. This old senile man. I'll make thousands of tweets, tens of videos on the streets of people talking about him, and finally occupying their offices. At Atwoli DZA, you will be sleeping with your eyes open. And in this tweet, Atwoli said that Hanifa Adan did not account for the more than 30 million that was fundraised in last year's June protests to take care of those who were maimed and hospitalized. We are very clear, or those who've been following this story are clear, that Hanifa Adan actually did an audit of the money and explained how each of that, or rather, how that money was spent and utilized. And because of this, Hanifa Adam, in retaliation, Hanifa Adan has said that she is going to take Francis Atwoli head on. And because of this, we've had a couple of altercations in which some notable figures have gotten onto the battle and tried to intervene. And This tweet from Mother Karua explains that Atwoli is kind of meddling in the young people's business and taking offense over matters that he did not really have to respond to. But how is this battle significant, and why do I take this time to look at it? We clearly know that even after the June 25th protests, most people have come in to meddle with the business of the young people, trying to steal off some of the activists, like we saw is Kasmuel Makore. And maybe this old generation thinks that we are going to bow to their pressure whenever they need us to. But this is not in Hanifa's spirit. And because of how she is principled, she's taking this old man head on. I have personally been following up on this story, and today I saw a very sad tweet from Hanifa. She said, or rather, she posted a screenshot of messages she had received from someone who requested her to stay indoors for the next couple of days, saying that her security could be at risk. And this is coming at the backdrop of most tweets having or the hashtag Atwoli retire trending. And this has been followed by other allegations of the late Member of Parliament from Kabete who died in 2015, and Atwoli was a person of interest in that murder. Could this strategy of planning to maim or killing divergent voices come to an end? This is something that was practiced in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and it's quite old fashioned if you'd ask me. And if anything could happen to Hanifa, who will we question? It's really frustrating that whenever you try to bring on your voice, these people do not take it for what it is, but they try to look at it as a threat to their living or to their stay in office. And Francis Atwoli has been one of those people who take offense on anything. And we've seen him bootlick every president that has come to power. I don't know since when, before I was born. So my plea to every young person, why and the reason why I'm making this video is to request everyone to stand by Hanifa and defend her in this. We're not supposed to see someone who has played a very huge role in this movement and in this revolution being soiled, or her reputation being soiled by someone we clearly know is not a good person. We're supposed to take him head on, everybody on board, as we try to salvage our own. So thank you so much for watching this video. Kindly like it, share it to as many of your friends as you can, and subscribe to our channel.